Do you want to wait until Gatey Man fucking pulls his car out?
Dickhead.
Yeah.
Why did he pull in?
Sure, look, I had to park it in here, like, do you know what I mean? Some lad fucking parked in my spot there the last time and he had Vaseline. I fucking put it all over his fucking windscreen.
You've entered the wrong door. And you're not coming out alive!
It's a cold October evening on this. What's it called? All Hallows Eve?
Beltane. Sam Hain.
Sam Hain, yeah. Halloween
the old
tree
Celtic
reference.
word for it.
Samhain.
Yeah, that's what it is. And welcome, one and all, to this. What would we call this?
Halloween special.
We are your hosts to this thing. I am Paul. I'll fix it again tomorrow, Shinners. And I'm joined by Philip, Magic Make Movie Better button, Shanahan. And we were both joined by Dave, the Macho Man Randy Savage O'Reilly.
And special this time round, because we got him to come over for the day.
Yeah, we flew. This is exciting. This is amazing. What do you think of that, Dave?
I think it was, a bit of an insult to be flown over, first class.
Yeah. I was more angling towards the Macho Man Randy Savage angle.
Oh, yeah,
What do you
that
think of
was probably the best intro I've ever
This
done.
is. I've been thinking about this for weeks. Dave, you are the prodigal son returned to Limerick.
Yeah, okay, I'll buy that.
And we need to do something to celebrate this. So what we're going to do, and it's going to be fit. This is fitting because it's Halloween. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to get some yoga pants, some colourful yoga pants. We're going to put them on you, all right?
Okay.
And we're going to get some big military boots
Okay.
and put them on, all right?
Alright.
So now you got your colourful yoga pants and military boots.
Okay.
We're going to get a flesh-coloured long sleeve T-shirt, and we're going to put that on you, and we're going to duct tape it around your waist and around your wrists.
Why duct tape it?
This is the ingenious part, all right?
Okay.
Myself and Phil, we've been going out to the butchers for weeks, and we've just been buying meat right the fuck up. We got it in black bags under the stairs. That's probably what you smelled when you came into the place.
Chuck, lamb,
Some chuck, lamb, mince.
some steak.
Yeah, it's a bit smelly now, but
It's
Philip's,
vintage.
It's vintage, and Philip has been spraying Dettol on it, so that's just keeping the smell down.
Right, okay.
What does Macho Man Randy Savage have that you don't? Big muscles. Because you're not a big guy.
That's entirely
You're
accurate, Paul, but
you're a skinny lad, Dave. All right?
Right,
You
okay.
know,
Okay.
you're sweating it out over in Australia.
Okay.
So what we need to do is we need to bulk you up. So what we're going to do is we're going to duct tape up this flesh-coloured shirt.
So hold on.
Myself and Phil are going to stuff the meat that we bought.
That sounds like a dirty euphemism.
We're gonna-
Stuff the meat.
We're going to there's going to be a lot of
You think it's a
stuff.
six-pack? That's a fucking pork chop.
We're going to stuff the meat down in the t-shirt, and that's going to bulk you up. All right,
Right.
so they're going to be your muscles. And I'm going to get a permanent marker, and I'm going to draw on
The muscles,
some
I
pecs,
Oh, okay.
some nipples, and a six-pack onto the shirt, right? So now you have the muscle. You're a big, sweaty meat man, like Macho Man Randy Savage was. Beard, you have a bit of a beard now.
But yeah, I'm working it.
Well, if you shave it, don't worry, I'll just scribble something out with the magic marker as well.
Okay.
Okay?
Choice of a shape.
Bandana on your head, big sunglasses.
Could have to be
right?
ski glasses, though.
Big ski glasses.
Thank you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the renewed Macho Man Randy Savage.
He smells like Dettol and rancid meat, but he still got it. He still got it.
We can't leave it at that. We can't just dress you up and hide you away from the world.
All right, okay.
I've gone down to the park, the local park, and I've got some plywood, and I've built a ring
Okay.
down there. And I couldn't find any rope, so I just used barbed wire. I found that lying around. Don't worry about it, okay?
I wouldn't worry about it because I have to bounce off it.
Don't worry about it, all right? So we got a ring. Now we need an audience. So myself and Phil, we've printed up flyers and we've given them out all over the city. And by I mean giving them out all over the city, we've gone around to the roughest parts of Limerick and super glued those flyers to the car windscreens.
So our 10 listeners will come is what you're trying to tell me.
No, I'm talking like we went to all the rough areas of Limerick.
Oh yeah.
And we super glued those flyers onto the windscreens, alright?
We went to the North Circular Road.
We won't
went to
name
the
them. That's a bit strong. A bit much, Phil, alright? All I'm saying is we went to North Circular Road anyway. That's the first place we went.
Yeah.
And we super glued those flyers to the windscreens.
No,
And on the
we paid someone else to do it.
I did it.
He did it.
I sure as hell did it
I
anyway.
didn't do it. I don't even know what's
On
on
the
right
flyer,
now.
it says,
Go.
for one night only, in the local park, we give you, through necromancy, the revived, the revered, the Macho Man, Randy Savage. For one match only, come down, brackets, don't worry, there'll be no security checks, close brackets. So when the crowd gets there, they're
Who's he
going...
fighting?
I'll get to it. We got the crowd there.
Make sure you do. Like,
Yeah.
go on, come on. Yeah.
We got the crowd there. They're going to be ecstatic.
Oh, okay.
They're going to look around and go, these are the guys who put the flyers on their cars. These guys are amazing.
Guerrilla marketing at its best.
Yeah, perfect. You're standing behind two curtains we set up. You know,
Energy.
working yourself up, you know, because the crowd, they're getting excited. They're waiting for this. That's when Philip comes out with a stereo over his head. And I will come out and I will announce,
It's kind of like...
ladies and gentlemen, for one night only, and this All Hallow Eve's night, I give you the revived Macho Man, Randy Savage. And then when Philip puts the music on, do you want to guess what the music is?
I have no idea.
It goes boom, 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 boom. Time is up. Time is now. You can't see me, but time is now. I'm the Macho Man. I've been... That's exactly what he goes. I'm the Macho Man. You can't see me? Fuck yourself. And that's when you come out of the curtain, all right?
That exact order.
Yeah, and it's when you come out of the curtain, you're like, ooh yeah, I'm Macho Man, Randy Savage. And you come out and you're flexing your muscles and you run towards the
Meat
ring.
muscles now, right?
You run straight towards the ring and you do that thing. You know when wrestlers come out and sometimes they run?
They're all oiled up.
Yeah, but they sort of they slide into the ring.
Yeah, because they're
That's
all oiled
where
up.
you're getting in. Don't go full tilt.
Okay.
Because I'm guessing by all the meat inside you that you're going to be very greasy.
It's going to fucking explode. Is
No,
what is going to happen.
Yeah.
Not that you might slide up the other side.
The meeting levels would be like rightly built up in that shit.
Yeah, but I'm thinking you're so greasy with all the meat and the sweat that once you slide in the ring, you might slide out the other side and fall off, and you just look like an idiot.
Of course.
So you
And-
run into the ring.
Before you go on, the ring is an upside down kids swimming pool.
Yeah, but I've tacked on some plywood onto it.
Yeah,
just to give
barbed
it-
wire, yeah.
Just to give it a bit
So
of
who's my
spin.
opponent? Come on, let's cut to the chase.
Let's go. Who is he fighting, Paul?
I get to it, I said. So, Dave the Macho Man, Randy Savage O'Reilly is in the ring. And you're flexing your muscles, and you're going, ooh, yeah, Macho Man's in the place, Macho Man in the house. And I'll come up with the microphone, and then you grab the microphone because you're doing promos. Oh, yeah, the Macho Man's in the house, and he's telling you right now, Mean Gene. I'll dress up like Mean Gene, so it's fitting, okay? You're like, ooh, I tell you what, Mean Gene Simmons, the Macho Man is happy to be in this shithole Limerick tonight. He's playing the heel.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, okay, he's playing heat.
Yeah, he's playing the heel. And the Macho Man is telling you that the cream, it rises to the top. The cream, it always rises to the top. The Macho Man is the cream of the crop. Ooh, yeah. I tell you, Mean Gene, ooh, yeah.
Okay.
And that's when Philip comes up, takes his t-shirt off.
Right.
Underneath, he's got another t-shirt,
Okay.
which is a black and white striped.
Prison gear get up, yeah.
It's a referee, okay?
Oh, okay.
The lights dim, the opponent's going to come out, and that's when I, over the microphone, going, and now, introducing the opponent, weighing 150 pounds, Cat Fondue!
Who's Cat Fondue?
Don't act like you don't know, Phil, because you're part of this as much as I am. Myself and Philip, for the last week, have been going around Limerick, and we've been collecting stray cats.
Is that what that was for?
And we've glued them together with melted cheese.
Okay.
Basically, we've got a big cage at the back. And we're going to roll out that big cage.
I'm getting a vision of like a Wicker Man type cat.
It's very Wicker-esque. There's no music.
Okay, sorry.
Because something tells me the torturous cacophony of 50 glued together cats would be nice enough.
And is it easy singles that you use to glue them together, or is it Swiss cheese?
Oh no, it's easy singles.
For cost effective
Oh yeah,
purposes.
not even easy singles. The fucking Aldi singles.
Yeah.
Oh, those are nice.
We have a budget.
This is
alright?
going from wrestling to like, you know,
This is perfect.
dark
Right?
side of the
This
internet.
is going into madness.
We've already
now.
into dark because we've already had the necromantic Macho Man
Reanimated,
Savage
yeah.
reanimated.
Okay,
Okay?
okay.
I imagine the cats, they're going to be very angry.
Oh, they're going to be
Yeah.
very happy.
Some of them probably have.
possibly dead.
I would assume that some of them might be dead. A lot of them might have rabies. Philip will open up the cage.
Okay.
Yeah, well, you're the ref. You're going to have to be in the ring.
Can I have a stick?
No, there's no stick. You just open up the cage and let Cat Fondue,
Cat
the Macho Man
Fondue.
Randy Savages.
I now get it, cat fondue. Right. But when he makes a foul, like Phil gets to say as a referee, that's a fun don't.
Yeah, why not? We let him out of the cage and you're going to wrestle that for like 30 minutes?
That's
30
probably
minutes?
quite possibly the best intro I've ever heard.
Welcome to the podcast, everyone.
I can buy that. So it being Halloween, what are some of just like favourite films to watch? What are your fucking routines like?
I don't do any. I don't have any set routine.
We did for years though, right? We either met up or I stayed at yours, you stayed at mine, and we just put on a ton load of films.
Yeah.
Lots of food, and the older we got, then food also incorporated beer.
Yeah.
1 year, actually, you told us about this place in Clonara that had this fairy ring and tree that couldn't be cut down or anything like that.
Box Trip Woods.
Box Trip Woods. Yeah. Down the road from your relative's
This is
home
real.
house and that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
yeah.
The-
I mean, you probably don't know this,
I'll just
actually,
give a brief history of it. The legends of it were that people who would visit the woods would feel like they got a box in the back of the head. A very temperamental, angry ghost would give them a box in the back of the head and they'd fall over. So it was called Box Trip Woods.
Oh, okay.
So we
Makes
went for
sense.
a camping trip there when we were like 15, 16.
Yeah.
Jesus.
That was pretty cool actually.
Yeah, no, it was a good night.
Because we put beers in the river.
Yeah,
I
it was-
remember that.
Yeah,
Cool him
so-
down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like
Tied
so,
a rope onto him and stuck him in there was like a little stream.
Yeah.
No, that's so cool.
So we had like, I don't know, something like a 6-pack or something, and we had it down the river, and we let them cool off, and we set up a tent and kind of had an old wander around, and then we came back and we just started playing card games and stuff like that,
Yeah.
and trying to freak each other out, trying to say, you know, there's something outside, or there's something there, there's something happening. There was nothing happening. Nothing ever happened. Creepily, but a fun memory.
I think in our naivety we thought we were like ghost hunting.
Yeah.
Wasn't that what it was?
I think it
I
was...
have never been since ghost hunting for anything. Mostly
Do you know-
because
do you
I
know-
think it's bullshit.
Yeah, do you know what it is? I think we were probably at that stage in our life where, you know, you hear all about these things as a kid growing up, about all these magical things, like, you know, you hear about the puka, and I remember, like, we were told, like, when we were going out, you know, trick-or-treating, that, like, turn your coat inside out so the puka would think that you were one of the spirits that were going around as well. No, that was just a cheap way of having a costume. But you start to get all these things of Irish culture and magic and mysticism and all that. And then I suppose when we hit that age, it was kind of a case of we were on the precipice of like losing that kind of little bit of magic or something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's what it was.
I remember somebody asked me recently enough, actually, what was the first horror film you ever saw that like genuinely scared you? I was like, well, it's not really a horror film, but it has elements of like typical Irishisms that regard to like scary scenes, and they laugh when I said Darby O'Gill and the Little People.
The Banshee.
The Banshee, yeah, that whole thing of like a ghost, like with this hood, and then it pulls it down, it's long flowing hair. But you can't look at the Banshee if she brushes her hair. That's the thing.
Yeah, I always remember the tales. If you see a comb out in the woods, don't pick it up.
Yeah.
Because it was probably the Banshee's
But doesn't the
comb.
Banshee cry as like a howl, like?
Yeah. Yeah, and I think that's in Darby Gale. That's what I remember freaked me out the most. Wasn't the visual of the banshee? Was they
sound.
nailed that sound.
Yeah,
whatever that sound, it was. They nailed it.
Yeah, like I mean, there are very few true representations that I remember being really scared of Angelica Houston in The Witches, Roald Dahl's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
film. That's
That's
incredibly
really,
dark.
That's really dark.
They
actually.
ate
Yeah,
children in that movie.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
their whole fucking ethos. Was
Yeah,
to
but not only
wipe out
that,
kids.
like I actually only watched it there a couple of months back, and it still has a kind of camp feel to it.
yeah, because the makeup and the prosthetics are so thick.
Yeah, yeah. Like the way they exaggerate themselves is quite camp, but the look of it, and then when they stop and when they slow it down, it just becomes like, oh fuck.
Yeah, because the witches are bald, and it's very little makeup on not the head witch, but the audience witches. They're all bald. And
Yeah,
like, it's got this,
making
like,
the soup and all that kind of shit. Like
They've got this scavy, scratching tick, and they've all got scabs and like loose teeth and shit.
And they got the big pointy noses as well, haven't they?
They do.
The
yeah.
head witch has
head
that.
witch.
They turning the kids into
Mice.
Mice.
Yeah. But like I mean, even taking it like full circle then to the most recent kind of horror movie, The Witch. That's an honourable mention, by the way. Paul got me onto it this year, and it's a hard one to follow. Like the first 10 minutes are the language is like old English, isn't it?
Yeah, it's because it's lifted directly from manuscripts that they found back from, must be what, the mid to late 18th century.
To be
I would
perfectly
assume.
honest, the only reason I watched is because the email you sent, and it was like fucking 2 pages long. I was like, oh, okay, take a look at this. And I sat down and watched it, and it was one of those things where within the first 10 minutes it established itself. And like I said, without ruining anything for anyone, there are images in that will never leave me.
What I loved about it more, because I've said this to you guys before, less and less I'm interested in the monster in the woods type of horror, where you've got the spooky thing out in the woods, and it's there, and its only purpose is to kill.
It's a Jaws complex.
Yeah, its only purpose is, here's a bunch of characters, and they're all going to die, probably bar one who will end up getting away.
Yeah.
And then we probably
The
kill...
inevitable face-off.
Yeah, The Witch is...
Not neat.
that.
It's not neat.
It's not that at all.
Yeah.
I even fail to say that it's a horror in the traditional sense of what people expect when they say, I'm watching a horror film. It feels more like a psychological thriller.
Yeah.
And the main focus behind the story is how superstition and fear can divide a family. That's what I got from it. Was this main... It's a very family-orientated film. When you
And
look
it's a
at the core.
coming-of-age film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it is for the main character, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the daughter of the farmer. It's her story more than anything else.
Yeah.
She's sort of like the central focus. But its central theme, I suppose, is family and how... And,
ties the
and even
point.
broader than that would be like community. You know, how our unity makes us thrive and division does the opposite. Like,
Because
you know.
exile is such a big part of
Exile,
the story,
yeah, because it's, I don't think this give anything too
No,
much
no.
away. But at the start, the father gets exiled from the...
For being a religious fanatic,
Is
which
that,
is...
Yeah, he gets exiled from the town and they live out. They're living on the outskirts, which means they're already isolated from everyone else. So the seeds of fear and deception can be sowed so easily, not without cause, because something happens at the start that I don't want to say.
But it's important to mention they live on the outskirts of the woods.
Yeah.
And the woods, even to them, we talk about Irish mythology and like, the woods is seen as like, you should never go in there because there are so many unknowns inside there.
Yeah.
And it plays a psychological part of the monster.
The woods they're the last bastion of the natural world that we can't control, so we fear it. And there's always this raw, natural
Activity. Because if you camped out, there's always noises. It's never still.
It's never still. And there's this raw, natural sort of fear that we can have of it because we haven't tamed the woods. It's the natural world that, has been around for eons.
You're a guest in there, really, aren't you?
You're the guest inside the woods bit. Yeah, exactly. The loss of control and the fear of the unknown.
Well, you say woods and forests, I immediately think of Evil Dead. I think that's something the three of us share.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. Like we even talked about, like, what was that?
I'm making faces
Like,
at
you
you.
look like you had a fucking stroke there. Don't do that.
We hit a high point of conversation and we're all enamored now. We get to talk about Evil Dead because all three of us have bonded on it on different, separate occasions. And I'll open with this. I saw the Armies of Darkness before I saw Evil Dead 1 and 2.
Ah.
And the only reason I knew about it is because I spoke to you about it. And this is one thing that we have talked about in great length when we worked in Extravision was I saw Evil Dead at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning on RTE, and you said, you're wrong in the sense it's a standalone movie. It's there's a part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
I remember you saying you had the same viewing experience.
Yeah. I on a Friday night on Network 2 at about, I don't know, it was 11 o'clock or whatever. I had this small little TV.
Even later, it's stupid o'clock.
You know the grey Ferguson TV? I had that right next to the bed. And it even had a little sticker on it to make sure that I didn't go past a certain volume. so it couldn't be heard in anywhere else in the house. The sticker's probably still on it.
Was that one you had to tune in or?
Yeah. So it's full analog. So it's full old school. So I didn't plug it into the wall or anything. But Friday nights, 11 o'clock, they used to spin out these horror films. They're B movies. One was Attack of the Killer Brain. One was Killer Driller. And the one that I had seen was Evil Dead in full. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is amazing. Just in the sense of, how did they do that? How did they make all of that real? So yeah, it was Evil Dead 2, which is probably my favourite out of the 3 of them. Bananas. Absolutely bananas. This black flood of stuff just fucking flying out of the walls. This hand running around.
It's just that right amount of camp and horror mixture. I think that makes Evil Dead 2 stand out on its own.
That's the thing. I had never seen Evil Dead 2, and I remember seeing, as I said, Armies of Darkness. I did see the reissue in 2004 of Evil Dead.
Yeah.
And never drew the comparison. But it's only when I was talking to you, and you were like, no, this is a whole thing, where the first one was made for fuck all.
Blair Witch Project.
Yes. Great
movie. And a great bad movie as well. It's everything about it should tell you this film is terrible. But it's not. Really, really genius. Second one comes out. They try and put the studio spin in it, and it's a studio movie.
Is it Book of Shadows or
Book of Shadows?
So it's actually the Blair Witch 2, which I was
Blair Witch 2. Yeah, exactly.
Continue.
So when you got to the end of it, I can't remember the actual film itself. There's a lot of people running around, and they were fucking naked as well.
I remember there was a lot of. They were in a house at one stage, and they were out in the woods, and just sitting around the campfire talking a lot.
Yeah. A big production team going out and recording this, and they were coming back and bringing back in videos.
They went out to the woods to film and was sitting around for a while. Big production, alright.
But on the VHS, when you got to the end of it, it said, please rewind your tape. The hidden message was locked in the tape. You hit rewind on it. So this is going at times 20 backwards. And the filmmakers still managed somehow to put this extra message that you could only see by rewinding the VHS backwards.
It was almost like an extra layer on top of the film that because I think it's so long since I watched it. It ends very ambiguous. Was it all them themselves that were doing it?
It was all themselves, yeah.
Spoilers, by the way.
Yeah, oops. Give me your worst horror movie ever, but you love to watch it, regardless.
Jeepers Creepers 2.
Bus.
Quick answer.
Is that the bus?
The bus, yeah.
With RoboCop.
Yeah. The guy,
what's his name?
the devil from
Reaper.
Reaper, yeah. It's better than the first one. That's all I know. The first one's just a mishmash of just it's a song, it's a demon, he makes a layer out of skin. It's a complete mess. But the second one is he went away and learned the problems and just made the monster in a house but put it on a bus in the 80s.
Yeah.
And it's just a monster movie.
Paul?
I'm still thinking you go.
Really bad movie that I have no problem watching. I should have thought of this before you.
Jason X.
Oh, that's the one in space.
I love
terrible.
it. I love it though.
Oh, it's God.
They're having
so
a
bad.
pillow fight and he does the machete straight through
Does
the
he
pillows.
Does he take one of them in a sleeping bag and he uses that to bash the other one to death?
That's in the simulated.
The simulated bit,
my
yeah.
God, yeah. That's...
He's got the two young girls and he just grabs one of them in a sleeping bag and he's just using that to beat the other one in another sleeping bag to death.
I remember seeing that at the very back. I don't remember that of Empire magazine that had all these future titles that were coming out. I remember seeing Jason X.
I had that. I had that inside the room.
Yeah, why isn't that?
I have that article still there inside the room.
The bit where he just the computer rebuilds him for no reason. for no reason. And he just
for plot.
he just perchance gets thrown in a certain
He's
area,
in space.
and it's in space. It's amazing.
It's
He
like
gets his new mask, and that's what you're waiting for because you see it on the cover.
Steel mask.
Yeah, you see it on the cover, and for the first like 2/3 of the film, he's got the traditional hockey mask. Like, when's he getting the cool new metal mask?
He looks like more like an alien.
He looks like a fucking Cylon.
Yeah.
But the whole thing was everyone was waiting on the promise of Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Which one was that? Was it 7 or 8? I don't know. Anyway,
Oh, Jason Takes Manhattan was number 8 anyway, wasn't it? Number 9 then.
where it's like Jason
was-
isn't really, he's there for the first half of the movie, and then like like the autopsy, the guy who does the autopsy on him like eats his heart, and then Jason's like an entity, and then at the very end of that god awful movie, Jason's hockey mask is in the sand on a sand pit in a playground, and Freddy's glove comes out and whips it down, and it's like, oh, that's Freddy versus Jason,
Yeah.
and that's just a whole other mess I won't get into because that film was just awful.
The fight scene at the end is so
So
terrible.
silly, like.
I think it's Freddy's one-liners that get me, and it's I can't recall any of them offhand, but I remember.
Miss me, bitch! I'm gonna kill you, bitch!
He's so fucking schlocky. He's so bad. Well, Phil, what's yours?
I would break the norm and say it's just one because there's so many bad films in that franchise that I would have to say Saw. I think the first Saw is a great movie.
Yeah.
I think great film. It kind of just pumped something new into the horror genre when it came out. Second one, then they tried something different, and it kind of okay, whatever. Then it just oh my god!
Yeah.
I used to go to cinema every Halloween to watch Saw.
As far as the Saw franchise goes, and I think there's a new one coming out soon.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah.
it's they were trying to reignite it.
As bad as they got, I have to admire with every subsequent film they try to tie everything together into
They
some coherent
do,
plot. I have to admire it. You know,
And they leave you
they
on
care.
these little cliffhangers, and I think that's probably why I kept going back for more. And do you know what? I'm not ashamed. Like, they're bad movies. Some of them are really, really bad.
But I think like even the Saw movie, I remember seeing the third one and saying to you, it's just like I remember genuinely being like, "Fuck, this is going off the deep end," because it opens with him taking the shackle off with the sister and breaking his bone, but that's what the Saw franchise dipped into, was how can we make it the most inventive way they can die and the most graphic. And then you move on from that then to, as I said, that's the splatter movies, but then bring it back around to like films that were banned in the 80s and you got your hands on.
the box of the band, yeah.
Films that were, and probably
Spit in Your Grave and stuff like that that couldn't possibly have been released.
They already mentioned Evil Dead was banned.
Over
here.
Yeah. One film that I absolutely loved in the last couple of years, that came out about 2 or 3 years ago, was The Guest.
Oh, with Dan Stevens,
So well put together in terms of tension building.
It's kind of
Now,
genre hopping, isn't it? It starts out kind of the thriller and it dips into like.
So here's this
horror.
like story. Here's this soldier that comes back from the war, and he comes back to his family and said, "Look, I knew your dead son. I was in the same platoon as him, and he's like, I just wanted to say that he had a couple of last words for you." And he says it to the family, and he says, "I'm gonna be on my way now." And they're like, "No, stay with us," because they're just after getting news that here's this someone that spent their last dying moments with their son. So you get that, and you get this kind of thing that something's not right with him. And then just when the third act starts, you're like, oh fuck. Did they just do that? Are we doing this now? And then it's just like, the last third of that movie is pure retro. Pure retro. But the 2/3, what makes it so good, the 2/3 coming up to that is all tension building. Really just slowly making you feel kind of, I don't know, and you're
Uncomfortable.
you're just kind of like, ugh.
So yeah, like horror movies and that, like, and that's the other thing about like I'm gonna segue here smoothly into, you had no counter gauge for how good the movie was gonna be, bar the cover art. When you got there on a Saturday night, and you got to the video shop, it was, how fucking cool does the cover art look? That, as a 10-year-old child or even younger, that was your basis for.
I can't wait to rent out Cyborg Ninja 2.
Duke Nukem High 2.
It looks legit.
Yeah.
I think my dad was great for recording like the likes of Die Hard and Lethal Weapon and films like that.
Did he pull the snaky trick of if there was a sex scene that it would pause and it would scramble and all of a sudden then it'd be in their clothes and then out of their clothes? Because my dad did that.
Yeah.
Continue. Sorry.
Fucking Lethal Weapon 2 was ruined for... Actually, no, it wasn't. It wasn't, because when I watched it later on, I was like, there's more to this movie?
There's boobs!
Anyway, sorry. Your dad,
Yeah, so
Lethal Weapon movies recorded on TV.
What he also did was he recorded one of the Halloweens for us. Okay, so it was like... I actually don't know. I can't remember. Something is telling me it's the Paul Rudd one, because the Paul Rudd one is...
That's 5. Curse of Michael Myers.
Where they throw in the fucking grenades.
Yeah. I remember everyone super disappointed in the production, but I grew up in a house, you see, what was different, where it was, I remember we were in my grandmother's house in Flood Street, and Freddy's Nightmares was on. And I remember seeing the trailer and being absolutely terrified, but I found the original VHS downstairs in, like, you know, the TV unit chest.
Yeah.
And for years, I think I saw it, I eventually talked my dad around showing it to me. And this is the thing, there was no copy that I could rent anywhere. And my uncle had it on tape.
Yeah.
And he said, oh look, there's another couple of films on it. It was on long play record. But he said, you know, if you go to the third one, I'm pretty sure, because according to his labelling on the front of the tape, Nightmare on Elm Street was, you know, third in line. Like, I remember seeing it because it had, like, you know, the Sky. It was directly ripped from Sky One, Sky Movies. And I remember just being absolutely fucking terrified.
The third one is when they're on the bus, isn't it?
That's the second one.
Oh, that's the second one.
Yeah.
That's
third one's Dream Warriors.
Dream Warriors.
It was written by Frank Darabont.
See, I always put it down that Jason is the best one because he's got a big machete. First horror film that you ever saw. Can you remember?
Omen. I saw The Omen when I was 8. No, 9.
I remember being in my cousin's house, and it was around the time of Easter, and they had pre-recorded it, and at that time it was shown as like a 2 or 3 part television series.
Speaking of which, Dave,
Yes.
it's clown. You in a clown costume,
Okay.
in a grate, under the street.
This is not going to end well.
Myself,
Or savoury.
myself and Phil will follow you around in a windowless white van.
I'm just going to say right now, this is probably going to have to be cut.
Probably.
Because
It is going to be.
I'm telling you this now, Paul. Before this goes out, I'm telling you one thing, right? It doesn't really sound like it, but it's okay. It's over amplified. I'm telling you this now, Paul. You fucking cut that out.
So, Dave, clown costume. Me,
Right.
Phil, white
Right.
van.
Right.
Windowless.
Jesus.
So what are we doing in the van?
We get to that.
And when the kid gets close
What
to
are we
grate,
dressed in?
white overalls.
Okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay? White overalls
Okay.
with clown masks. What's wrong with that? We can do it this Halloween. We can do it tonight. It's Halloween night tonight. We can do that. That's possible.
Does that say more about him than anything else? Does it not? Not
Kids.
a way, man. Not a whoop of it. Not a whoop of it.
Paul, there's no easy way to say this. Yeah, you need to fuck off.
Not a whoop of it.
I need to fuck off into the white van because I think this is a prime opportunity for us.
Anyway.
Prime opportunity. Cut your top 5.
Well, we're not. Sorry,
Great
no.
segue.
No, we're not finished this yet. This is perfect.
Right.
This is perfect, alright?
Okay.
I don't know why Dave is so embarrassed about it. You just have to dress up in a clown
There's
costume.
no embarrassment. He's horrified.
Horrified, yeah.
Well, I mean, what perfect way to be on a Halloween podcast is horrified.
You're just horrified and being sick.
What were we talking about? It's.
I want to tell you about the next CDSO where we set up an orphanage.
On that note. Films that have a lasting effect. Horror films. Any? Hellraiser was one for me. I remember you talked about like body horror, which is a relatively new concept, but people think, but it wasn't because Hellraiser's from '87.
Yeah, Pinhead, obviously, with the pins and whatnot in his head.
But that body, this morphia fucking mutilation shit was like, I remember watching that for the first time around Christmas actually, and my cousin had taped it when we were seeing it going, what the fuck is this?
For me, it was Alien. After watching that,
Why?
because again, I think it was production value, but not knowing that is, when you're watching, you're younger, you don't really appreciate those things.
No, you buy it more though. You
buy it more.
Buy into that.
Yeah, because they sell you a world. The idea of never revealing it fully, or always keeping a bit of mystery behind it, because it's more about what the audience makes up in their own mind. It's more terrifying what I can make up in my mind rather than what the person who's making the movie.
Give him like a shadowy corner, and then straight away, in your own head, you're thinking, oh, those coils look like the tail of the alien.
Exactly. In Alien, that's what it is. It's like whenever you see it, it's always like an arm or a leg or a tail, or it's in heavy shadow and it's like a silhouette, and your brain is making up, what the hell is that? Because it's so abnormal, it's completely out of the realm of what you're used to seeing, Yeah. And I think a lot of good horror knows when to let the audience's imagination take over rather than feed me all the information I need 100%.
Yeah.
Alien's a prime example again then of subtextual conversation with, like, the design was very sexual. The egg, Giger's design, and there was certain things that I remember looking at. I don't understand it, but it's familiar.
Do you know what it is, right? Now, I'm going back into those movies that make an impression, right? When you're younger, you know an awful lot less, and what you see through this four corners screen, you take as this is real because it transports you. And for me, 3 movies for 3 different things. So I talked about Evil Dead, and Evil Dead did it for me because I was like blown away that there was actually movies that could go that far with stuff. And then there was The Omen, which I'd seen a couple of years previous, which is like, it really freaked me out. I think for 2 weekends they had the first Omen first, and it was myself and my sister Melissa sat down to watch it. And I think it was like the first couple of months we were in our new house and stuff. And then the following week later, then we got to see the sequel. It's great, like. And The Omen is a fucking it's so well made, it's so well acted, it's so well scripted, and it's so well produced. Like, it is a damn fine movie, still to this day. There's something, and to be honest, I can't say it's like the whole Irish thing of Catholicism, where it's like Catholicism ruled Ireland for like so many years, that I can't say it's that, because I don't think it is, but I always feared the devil. So they were kind of 2 films that kind of left an impression on me. It's just like the whole religious aspect, and it was it still is a really damn good film.
Awesome. Do you know what I'm sick of? Talking about movies.
Beer o'clock before he starts
Shut
fucking
up.
talking.
He's getting cranky now because he didn't have any more beer. My little contribution to the box. There's
Tickle shit's over there.
tickle shits in the cellar. We rented a haunted mansion tonight.
Yeah, but where? Describe the location we're in, Dave. This is good stuff.
There's no fireplace. There's no
chimney
to go with the fireplace, so that worries me.
Philip is actually over at the moment.
Get off me!
Spooky ghosts.
And there's quite a draft. It's very cold.
Very drafty down here. There's dripping water. We're gonna have to edit that out because that's just gonna be really annoying.
We can see our breath. It's that cold.
water, that's petrol.
Chinese torture.
Black blood.
Yeah. Philip, get away from that, will ya? Leave that fucking plug alone. Look at him. He's sticking his tongue in the fucking plug in the wall.
We're generally in the confines of Apate HQ, but tonight we made an exception.
Yeah, I think he's really going at that now.
That's tight pants.
Put them down in the cellar. See, we're in the cellar. The cellar is what we call
We're
it.
in the basement. He's going to the cellar.
Well, I mean, yeah, but I mean, I was just calling it the cellar because it's like the cellar below the cellar we're in.
All right, okay.
You know?
Right, okay.
So with cobwebs on the wall, we can see our breath.
Can we turn on the heating, Paul? This is getting kind of cool.
No, because, and I'll tell you why we can't turn on the heating.
Why?
Very, very simple, right?
Why?
Is because I forgot to bring the heaters.
Right. Traditional. Jesus. Yes, man. Traditional Halloween nights. Money in the basin. That was a really weird one because it's like extremely dirty when you think about it. It's like coins in water.
Oh, you had to pick them up with your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, fucking hell. I remember that. And the apple was the
What's the
bobbin.
apple? What's that bobbin for the apple?
Bobbin for apples, yeah.
What was the other one where the apple was on a string and you hit it from the...
You hung it. Someone hung
I
it
lost
over
a
you.
tooth on that. Actually, I lost two. I lost
Wait.
one of my front teeth, one of my side teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty bad because I like went to swing it forward and you're listening to everyone because your hands are behind your back and then fucking lost a tooth.
Jeez. Yeah, I remember playing that. I could never catch the apples.
Yeah.
Very hard. I remember getting the costume, and by costume I mean the plastic mask that you
Black
bought.
plastic bag as a cape.
Yeah, and the mask that you bought up in, for us it was Clancy's or Johnny's shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He got
For-
out. Whoa! He got out of the cellar.
Yeah. He got out of cellar, Phil. Well done.
Yeah. There was a big giant spider.
Was
and
there?
It had a witch for a nurse.
Oh, all right, okay. We might have to actually have to go down to the local. It's only 7:30. I mean, it's 12 o'clock. It's nearly midnight.
It's the witching hour.
Yeah.
So, plastic masks. We used to buy them in Clancy's or Johnny's.
I remember if you were lucky, well, in my house, anyway, if you got to go to the magic shop, they were like the creme de la fucking shit
Yeah.
of like masks because
Yeah.
they were latex.
Most of the time it was just the cheap plastic ones we could get in the shops.
Yeah.
And I remember where we grew up, always every year, it was build a bonfire.
Build a bonfire,
Yeah.
build a bonfire,
And-
put Paul now on the top.
We used to go down, we used to get the furniture. People used to be throwing out furniture coming to Halloween. And we used to throw all of them up, and we used to love it because some of the couches that would come down, you'd open up the bottom of them and take out all the spare change.
What was the name of that place before they was it the Builders? Was that
We
what you
used to call it the Builders.
Builders, yeah,
And we
yeah.
used to- it was like this little, like a
Cement hut.
yeah,
that was
cement
built.
hut. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what the reason.
That was built the time that the was it Braun? We're doing the canal bank that time.
Siemens.
That was part or Siemens.
Yeah.
That was it. Sorry, yeah, Siemens.
Ardor Crusher Canal.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
an outhouse.
Is that
That's
what
what
it
that
was?
was. Yeah,
An outhouse.
an outhouse.
Yeah, so we used to like mess around in there and stuff. We used to always build a bonfire.
In a shithole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright, okay.
I
Way
don't
to
know,
go,
maybe.
Dave! You just fucking ruined our
I'm just
dreams.
gonna call
Go
it
on,
what
yeah,
it is. Like an
childhood.
outhouse is a shithole. Anyway,
Yeah,
man.
maybe, but I think the shit was well tried up by then. At least I hope.
Well and truly.
Unless
Anyway.
anyone else was using it as an outhouse. We used to always build a bonfire just directly in front of that. And they were fucking pretty big, like.
Yeah, they were
Like some
pretty-
years they were huge. We used to get them really big. Because we spend weeks, we come home from school, you go down.
What have you got in the house?
And we used to, and we used to just start pulling like loads of bits of wood and anything we get our hands on. Everyone would be waiting then. I think it was always like 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. In around those hours that you'd light it up and away you go. Go on, Dave.
We don't need
Halloween grown up. Go.
I think I've said all I've said about Paul did shoot you in the foot there. I can't remember.
You said fuck all about it.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
said you were
it's-
going to, like, what do you do as a kid?
Yeah,
when
what you do for Halloween? We
like?
built bonfires.
He did bonfires. I went to Flood Street and
Where's Flood Street? Tell people who
Yeah,
live in Limerick.
Flood Street is the one just behind
Flood
St.
Street.
John's, is it?
Yeah, it is indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know because I delivered mail there for one.
Yeah, I mean, like, we went into the family home there, my dad's family home, and yeah, I mean, when we were younger, it was all about, like, I mean, from the ages of like 6 to 8, it was, you know, bobbing for apples, or that bizarre thing where you put like fucking coins in a basin of water and go fishing from, which is totally unhygienic. I remember my aunt doing like fucking crazy things, like putting flour in her hair and like rubbing her teeth out with black shoe polish and scaring the shit out of us at like fucking obscene hours in the morning.
Shoe polish.
Yeah, she put shoe polish in her teeth so it looks as if your teeth were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it scared the shit out of us.
My only thing other than going out trick or treating and doing a few bits and pieces and turning the coats inside out, get the cheap stuff from Clancy's, the cheap masks or whatever, was we used to wait for my dad to come back from work, and of course we were watching Halloween. We would watch whatever was on.
And just like small little side piece there. When the cool back in the day when like RT Network 2 always
Did that?
always made a big deal out of Halloween. It came
Yeah,
out.
yeah,
It doesn't happen anymore.
Doesn't happen anymore.
No. It was
In fact, Halloween is such a like.
I think that had to do with ratings though, like there would be uproar when there was a horror movie.
Halloween.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
there
like,
would. Yeah, there'd be people writing in the whole time about this, like
horror
yeah.
films on.
Yeah.
Anyway, go on. That
Yeah,
was just
yeah.
a little aside.
So so that year it was Child's Play, because I remember my sister was talking about this film that she'd seen at like a 13th birthday party with her other friends, and it was this doll that came to life, and she used to freak us out talking about it. She managed to get it on VHS or whatever for the night, or the father probably got it. I don't know where it came from, but it was on that night, and it absolutely terrified me. It was the second Child's Play.
It's the blood drips down to the plastic in the factory.
Yeah. It's the acid and all that
that's
stuff. Like,
fucked.
it's creepy. Like, the film was finished, and I think we ate potatoes, we Wheaties or whatever we were eating.
Banshee
then, like,
bones.
we were just sitting up and we were watching television. There was nothing on television now, I don't think, at this stage, just because it was like 12 o'clock or whatever.
Sorry, Banshee ones.
Banshee
Amazing.
ones. Yeah,
Burger bites.
Yeah. Go find that shit.
Salt and vinegar.
Never lived.
Salt and vinegar. Anyway, continue on.
But this one night, anyway, we've got the...
How about them salt vinegar corn puffs, you?
Mind the cellar hall, Paul.
Watch yourself!
Go on, sorry, go on. Child's Play.
So 12 o'clock, pretty much Halloween was done.
It was the same way.
We were kind of finished.
Midnight came. It was kind of, alright, guys, you've had your fun. Time to go to bed.
But my dad was working that night, and he decided that it would be absolutely hilarious, because obviously the two older sisters were babysitting that night, that he would knock on the front door. They would answer the front door. There would no one be there. Then he would go around to the back door and knock on that. There would no one be there. And so you've got like a 15-year-old and a 14-year-old, or a 14 and a 13-year-old and a fucking whatever age I was inside the house, and getting a little bit creeped out by the front door and the back door being knocked, right? And here's my father running backwards and forwards from the front garden to the back garden, knocking on the door, until he decided, right, now I'm going to enter the house. So we're at whatever end of the house is, all three of us.
Right, okay.
Right? No, you need to come out here as well. I don't know who is it. Who's at the door? Someone's at the door. So Grant, all three of us are standing by the back door. No one's there. Father has now put the key in the front door. Starts coming down the hall. Closes the door behind him. All the lights start to go off in the house. And he freaks the fucking shit out of us.
He's a genius.
Boom.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. So, first of all, I just came back from the bathroom, everyone.
Cellar.
Well, the bathroom's in the cellar, and I just met the crypt keeper. He said, Phil, if you don't start paying your share of the rent, we're not playing Atmosphere tonight. So get on.
Atmosphere!
I was only joking.
Okay?
Man, Atmosphere. The fucking VHS, you pop it in and there's the mummy or the fucking witch.
Sorry. The interactive board game.
Yeah.
Is what they call it.
Fucking Atmosphere.
Moving on from that, your house up in, where was it? In past Killaloo?
Bartleystown.
Okay. Real creepy shit that happened in real life, because this is very topical.
So
I think everyone's sort of got an experience. I don't know about you, Dave. Have you got one?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay, we'll start with you, Phil.
So one of the things was that the three of us slept in the same bedroom, myself and my two sisters, and when we were living up in this place, and the wardrobe at odd hours in the night would just open up. That's it. And it would do it on a regular occurrence. This one night anyway, one of the sisters wakes up, and there I am sitting on the bed, looking straight into this wardrobe and just talking away into it. Now, I'm like 7 at this point. We're not talking poltergeist here. We're not talking like fucking toddlerish here. Like, I don't remember whatsoever. Like, I don't remember talking away into this fucking thing.
So you have like absolutely no memory of doing this, but your sisters swear by that you were sitting up talking to this wardrobe.
Now, what I do, there is something I do remember, and I don't know. You know, sometimes when you remember something and you don't know if it's fully the full picture, if that makes any sense. After a couple of years, you go back and you start thinking about it,
Big
and it
details.
feels so vivid.
Yeah.
It feels so vivid that it's like, no, that's exactly the way it happened. But there is this one thing that I remember was out the back of the house. It was kind of on a slope. It was an old enough house as well. But on the back side of this house, there was a door going out, and the door going out kind of had a little bit of a pat, and this huge step up onto this mound of grass, like fucking huge. But what I remember of me going out, and I used to kind of do laps around the garden and just messing and just playing with my own imagination. But I remember kind of running around and having this weird feeling that there was an old person, like an old man or an old woman, at the top of the garden, just looking down. But it turns out that or what my parents have, or what they said afterwards was that, like, yeah, that house really did have some weird shit. Like, it said a weird vibe to it.
Weird
like,
vibes.
I don't know fully, because I was quite young, like, I don't know fully if it's 100% real or if there's years of kind of filling in the gaps of what people told me about, like, stuff that used to happen in the house, of me just kind of running around and just seeing this old person at the top of the garden, like.
Oh, it is creepy.
Dave, any weird shit?
A lot less mystical than that.
Fucking don't keep us in suspense.
I remember my dad used, and probably like maybe a lot of Irish households, but when you would go to bed at a certain age, my dad used to do a thing where he would go, "I'm going to give you a count of 10 to hide, and then I'm going to find you." Maybe it was my dad because he was deranged, but he would go, "You got to the count of 10," and I'd run up the stairs and find my best hiding spot. I remember one night I hid in the shoe compartment of my wardrobe, and nothing happened. He didn't come. I heard him come up the stairs, like, but he never came. And I remember like getting like fucking claustrophobic, so I got out and I walked around for about what seemed like 10 minutes, probably 3. And I went to my parents' bedroom. There was no one there. There was no one at home. And he waited downstairs in the cupboard. And he just fucking popped out, and I'll never forget it. I nearly pissed myself. But I never forgave him, for I was bawling and crying after it. Like, I was like, "Hey, you bastard!"
Come on, Jim. Thanks.
But no, I mean, like, there's been silly things, alright, that have happened. Like, I mean, where I've probably read too much into. We used to keep. My mum used to have a preschool. I remember up until the age of 8 or 9, there'd been like a poppy doll in the house, which was like sewn on eyes, a nose. The nose is a red triangle, and it was like 4 foot of a doll.
Yeah.
I remember slightly looking at that, going,
Just waiting for that thing to move, like.
sometimes your subconscious has more than that ever.
Yeah.
I remember fucking screaming one night. My parents were downstairs entertaining, like, they had people over and I had a few drinks or whatever, and I was just like, "Ah, it's alive!" And it never fucking moved, like. But I mean, as a kid, dolls and clowns, I think, are the main thing.
Yeah.
No, I never had.
The thing is, it's the
anything
imagination.
beyond
It
that.
goes back to the whole
So
magic, mysticism side of it. Like, it's just
Never.
Nothing that I could explain, no.
Okay.
I can't say.
You
I have a few.
have a few. You, like, the one story that I was fascinated to tell me about was the one when you were living in Derryvinna.
Headless Horseman.
This horseman is after passing. I don't know if
Fuck.
it'll catch on a microphone, but we just heard horses.
Galloping.
Yeah, we just heard galloping horses.
That
outside.
kind of, weirdly enough, that
the
leads to-
Hessian.
the Hessian.
Right, so when I was very, very young, probably about 4 or 5, I'd wake up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, I'd reckon. And I'd hear these pots and pans rattling downstairs. Really loud. And to this day, as an adult, I can still vividly hear them when I think back to it. I know exactly what it sounded like. Then the next morning, I'd ask the mother, were you downstairs cooking last night, She's like, what time? I was like, 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. No, I wasn't. It was only years and years later that it sort of came back to me. It was one of those subconscious things. It was like, Jesus, yeah, I remember that when I was younger. And what brought it up was I had been offhandedly inside Smith's toy store in Limerick when it was open just on Henry Street there. Oh, yeah. And it was the point where they were selling books. They used to sell different types of books, and they were selling Irish folklore. And I picked up this book and I opened it to a random page, and the random page is about the Kildare Puka, a page depicting what the Puka did to this certain family in the story at night, which was to come into the house and rattle pots and pans down in the kitchen to disrupt the household. And then it all came flooding back. I was like, I remember hearing them when I was younger. That's fucking weird.
Well, some things cannot be explained.
I can't explain them.
Yeah.
It could be memory, misinformation.
Do you know what I
coming
use?
through.
Do you know, like, we're talking about, like, I think that's what it is. It's the magic of the imagination. It's
Yeah.
like, and that feeds into. It's all about our imagination at the end of the day. That's the big thing about it. And when you're a kid, you have this huge landscape in front of you, this huge giant imagination in front of you, that anything is possible. And that's where Halloween movies seem to always be the best. That's where you hear stories about creepy things that happen that stay in your memory, that don't move, because that's when you're at your most susceptible, because you're willing to believe anything, I suppose, which is great. I think that's the
And
fantastic
it's the
thing
magic
about
of Halloween, isn't it? You
Yeah.
just got there.
He's going to. He's going to.
And
Wait, I got
at
one.
that,
I've got a I've got a show. I got a show finisher.
Billy's about to close the show, guys.
I got to close the show. We've kind of covered. Have we covered a bit?
I think we've come
Kinda
full
covered a
circle.
bit.
Yeah, I think
Like we've talked about kind of Halloween. We've talked about our
Movies,
favorite films.
personal
we've talked about
experience.
bad personal experiences.
we have Dave dressing up as Macho Man Randy Savage. So anyone down to People's Park tonight, come down because that's going to be a hell of a show.
Yeah,
Are
literally
we allowed-
15 minutes
Are
after
we allowed
this.
to mention the mansion we're in?
Oh fuck, we better not mention that.
Okay.
That's a
Non-disclosed
secret.
location.
Non-disclosed location where we're recording from at the moment, but we will be making our way down to the People's Park post haste.
Yeah.
Okay, if you had to pick 3 of your favorite films that you would watch tonight on Halloween, Paul, 3 films that you would watch back to back.
Back to back.
Back to back.
Evil Dead 2.
Evil Dead 2. Cool.
Sleepy Hollow.
Very good.
And Bubba Hotep.
Ah, very good. Yeah. Dave, 3 films. Sit down and watch here now tonight. Halloween.
Nightmare on Elm Street. Beetlejuice.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
Yeah, I'd probably go Bram Stoker's. I have a soft spot for that.
Dracula.
Yeah.
Bram Stoker's Dracula for number 3 for Dave. Phil.
So my 3. A couple of hours ago, I sat down with my partner in crime, fiance, and we watched Hocus Pocus. So that is
Fuck! Hocus Pocus is the
the darkest Disney movie I've ever fucking seen.
quintessential
Halloween movie.
Halloween movie.
So Hocus Pocus.
So you've got us beat already.
In case you didn't
It
gather,
can only go up from here.
the Apate trifecta is in massive favour of Hocus Pocus.
Hocus
Phil,
Pocus,
continue.
definitely.
Take it away.
Right. Second of my 3 films is Interview with the Vampire. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. And the third one, just for poops and giggles,
We're on in suspense here.
Psycho.
Which one?
The Vince Vaughn one or two.
There are 2. Let's make this very clear.
Do you know what? I'm going to say the original.
Either or.
Anthony
Either.
Perkins.
Either
Either
or.
or, because with the
Yeah.
remake they didn't give a fuck. It's like, this is just carbon copy of it.
I'm gonna say Psycho because it just kind of we've covered like Evil Dead and we've covered all those other films. It's like no. If I was to sit down and watch 3 films tonight, I've watched one of them already. It was a really good movie. We had popcorn, we had some Galaxy chocolate, and we sat down and watched it.
Galaxy chocolate.
Galaxy chocolate. But the other 2 movies that I would watch definitely would be those 2 movies: Saw and The Omen.
Cue sound effects.
You got 5, Phil.
Yeah, motherfucker.
Relax, because we're not done yet.
Cue sound effects.
We're not-
Cue creepy sound effects.
Not quite yet, Dave. Let's get it quiet here, because I want to.
I missed you, Dave.
Oh, Jesus. Wept.
Year and a half.
Cue the creepy horror music.